Hello everybody, it's Chloe. I happened to go and run errands today, mostly for myself. Needed a little time away from the house. All my boys were, including my husband, all the boys basically, were video gaming. And I had already, taken care of a lot of stuff around the house, and I felt like, this is a great time for me to just pop out and take care of a few things and just a little me time. And I have a been looking for some time through the boxes in my house, and I seem to be missing one of my Claudette Baron Reed oracles. But one I didn't have, I saw at Barnes & Noble today. I was going there to pick up a book I had ordered that was on hold. And I just thought I'd pop back by the New Age section and see if there was anything that caught my eye or really, you know, couldn't shift my focus from it. And I know this deck has been out for a little bit, but I noticed they had a copy of the Enchanted Map. Now, I know this deck has been out for, I think, since 2011, but I believe this is a second printing or later printing of this deck. I'm not going to go through all the details. It has a very chunky little book here. I just watched a couple of YouTube videos because my friend Lee, who runs Elemental Inspirations in Salt Lake, also has this deck. And she encouraged me to get the Wisdom one that she did after this one in 2005. Or 15, sorry, 2015. The Wisdom Oracle or something like that. And I got it just before the move. And then I haven't been able to find it since. That's the one I've been missing. And part of the reason I'm still looking for it is, well, I like to know where all my oracles are. And two, it had kind of a nice mix of old world symbolism with new, more modern take. It's a very cool, kind of an eclectic, I think it carries on some of not the themes of this oracle, but I would read the first couple, the first section of the book is basically, this is what the book's about and how to read with the card, how to use the cards. There's like 3 different spreads offered, and then some examples of how this spread would work with this oracle. So that's all great, and that's awesome. But I also noticed that there was a little bit of a similar intro or description that I remember from the Wisdom Oracle, or whatever the title of that one is that came out in 2015. The one with the red box with the kind of like infinity shells or whatever, the spiral shells. My friend said, this deck so reminds me of you, you really need to get it. So I got that one, but again, it's been missing. So I decided today, well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Enchanted Map. I really like Claudette Baron Reed's first 2 oracles, which were kind of Arthurian and fairy mystic themed. And I believe most people like the second one she did better than the first. I found value in both, and so I thought, okay, let's do this. And so far I've only seen a few, and I didn't watch any of the videos like all the way through. I wanted to get a really nice first impressions. My friend Lee had did a couple readings for me over the years where I've only seen like a few cards from this deck, so this is like a really one that I kind of knew about, but I hadn't really been paying a lot of attention to. And now, since I have been kind of missing my her other oracle, more modern, more recent oracle, I thought, it's there. It's the only thing that I'm really being drawn to right now. So let's give it a go. Oh, I was just trying to find the info that I remember that was similar to the other deck, the one in the red box. So let me see, really quick. I'm in the wrong part. That was how to use the cards. I need to go to the introduction, because this introduction sounded very similar to me. Remember, the Enchanted Map came first, so I think some of the system she used to create the Wisdom Oracle, whatever the title is. I think she also first used in this Enchanted Map. And I'm sure they both have slightly different tones. Yes, here it is. Okay, so it said, all of my Oracle decks are inspired and are derivations of ancient divination systems such as Tarot, Norse Runes, and the I Ching, and are modernized for you to use today with language that you can understand. Each one has a different and specific theme, although, and then it talks about this one in particular. So evidently she created this one to be a companion to her book, The Map. She says it can be used standalone intuitive guidance tool. Well, that's great because I haven't read that book either. I've read her very first book that she came out with, that kind of shares her spiritual psychic journey into becoming an intuitive and some of her life story and a bit more. And I haven't really read the rest of her books, except I did get as an ebook, I believe, her one that helps with getting healthy and weight loss, and kind of is geared towards people who are empathic or intuitive and how they tend to pack on the pounds, partially because of the emotions that we tend to flow through us from other people, and then I guess eating is kind of our way of shielding ourselves or reacting to all the emotions that are kind of flowing through us from other people. I actually really liked that book as well. It had a lot of great advice and things in there, but I read that as a book in my hand as a library book, and then I got the ebook, I believe. I think it's on my Kobo. I'm gonna have to go check. But anyways, so I'm just sharing this because I thought some people might like to know if they needed to get a replacement of this deck. Again, it's still in its wrapping. The only wrapping I've taken off is the outward plastic. The box seems to be the same quality it was originally. The book seems to be the same quality you got in the original edition 2011, but I don't believe this is from that printing, and I'll tell you why. One of the few things I saw in the first few parts of the videos that I watched on this deck was that they were gilded in the original edition of this deck, in the actual 2011 edition. Now this one says it's 2011, but I believe this is a later printing because I went through and looked at some reviews on Amazon as well, and they start saying around 2016 that the cardstock has changed and the gilding is gone. Alright, people were complaining about it in the reviews or didn't mention it really. There was enough of them that I'm like, well, I've got it in my hands and I know they're telling the truth. The gilding is gone. This doesn't bother me so much because I like to choose the edging that I want to have, although I love a beautiful gilding, as you all know from my reaction from the Beautiful Creatures 2nd edition Tarot. Beautiful Creatures Tarot 2nd edition, just as proper way to say that. So yeah, I love a nice gilding. So I don't think anything else has changed. I mean, I've heard that some people feel the cardstock isn't as good. I do see a little bit of like linty type pieces sticking off from the edges. Again, this doesn't really bother me. If you're the kind of person who likes to trim, you might take this as an opportunity to trim that outer border off and make it just, you know, around the shape of the main picture. The main artwork's still there. After I do a good walkthrough for myself on this deck, I might post or do another little vlog or include info somewhere. It looks like it's the same artwork from a few that I recognize. I can't say for sure until I do. Again, I want to do a walkthrough of my own and looking at this deck. I'm not going to do that here. This deck has been out a long time, but if I do find that there is art that I don't recognize from, say, somebody else's video of this deck, I will do another video. I tend to like to point out certain aspects of the deck that I find special or unique. And I've got to say, I remember when I was working with the Wisdom Oracle that I really did like the modern artwork with the old world touches. Like, say, for instance, looking at this one, it's definitely a modern art piece, but you can see kind of, she reminds me of maybe like a shaman or, an Asian wisdom keeper or something like that. With, look, there's a clock in like a wheel format there. There's like a hanging lamp, but there's no light in it. And then there's, some skulls and bones and things just hanging around involved in the pit, and some animals. It's like a bird by the tree up top, and then a bunny, and then it looks like a feather wing, something being used as like, a fan of some sort, right? So this modern look, I like that because sometimes when I'm looking at tarot decks, everything is so geared towards that more medieval or some other time period, which is fine. It works. It's lovely. I love period pieces. But sometimes I find, especially for certain types of seekers that I get or clients, they're dealing with their day-to-day lives and they're not really into the mysticism or the old world look or any of that. They want something that kind of reflects the energy of what they're experiencing in the now, in the future, in the moment. Okay, so our challenge as readers, as spiritual people of spiritual service, is to help these people be able to see their a reflection of what they're experiencing from another perspective. And I really feel that this oracle can do that, from some of the artwork I've seen so far. It's beautiful, it's detailed. I've seen this artist's work before in the other ones, so I'm really happy to have found this deck. That I'll be able to use it for some time, I feel. And I really like the parchment look of it on the border edges, both on the front of the reading side and on the back. I really wasn't sure when I saw it before, but looking at it now, I actually do like the feel of the cards too, and I'm looking forward to edging. I don't think I'm going to trim because I really do like a parchment effect. Unless somebody else trims and shows a video that I could look at it first. Sometimes I'm willing to be the first one. I'm just not pulled. The edging in this one doesn't make me go, ugh, I have to get rid of this. And I do like a parchment look, and that's what it has here, kind of an old world, map parchment kind of look. And I'm cool with that. I like this blend of new and old. And yeah, I don't want to keep repeating myself. I have just kind of going through, I do feel some, I can see where they're saying where they're taking modern divination and mixing it through with some other things. I was trying to find the one that I had seen that was one of the cards that convinced me that I might want this deck, and it was like, I had two pathways going off. It reminds me of the choice card or the two different directions card in the Lenormand system that you get in one of the cards in that one. I'm trying to remember the name. If I could find this card. Oh, here it is. Making a choice. And this is basically what, there's a card in the Suramarcetti Lenormand deck that looks not exactly the same as this, but does have like a stairway with stairs splitting off into two directions with two different doors. This card so reminds me of that one and makes it really easy to leap to that, path you're going to go with two different energies. And if you can see inside the doorway, the backgrounds in there and the energy through those doorways are very different. So you're making a choice for two different, very different paths. And I like that. I like how clear that's conveyed if you can really sink in to the artwork. And that is something that I liked about the Wisdom Oracle as well. I think Ancient Wisdom Oracle, whatever it's called, the one with the red box and and the shell. So I'm glad that energy is in this one. And I'm looking forward to finding that deck again, but I'm very happy to work with this one in the meantime. And again, I just wanted to share that kind of change so you know if you need to replace your enchanted map for any reason, like damage or loss or anything like that. The ones printed after 2016 don't have the gilding, and people are saying the card stock feels different. I don't know, but I just thought, since not everybody goes to Amazon or other places to look at all the reviews and stuff, that people might like to know if there was any changes in a deck oracle that they really like to work with. So all right, I've said my piece, shared a little bit of my impressions. Again, if you want a more thorough look at this deck, or any look at all other than the few cards that I showed, please go and look for the other videos out there. But if you really want me to do an impression one on the certain details that really stick out to me, I'm happy to do it. Just let me know in the comments. If you really like the info I've shared, if you like my channel or my style of vlogs, please subscribe. Let me know. I would love the communication and back and forth to give me an idea of what you would really like to see or where I could take things, okay? I love being a co-creator, a co-worker, a reflector for other people as well, in a way. This card reminds me a little bit of the water suit cards in her Good Tarot. Slow and steady, and I do love a nice snail, so I like that combo of looks almost like dragonfly wings with a snail shell, and just the energy. I really like this one. It just really stuck out for me for a minute there. Okay, so yeah, just a quick little update on this deck, the Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reed, and I hope you liked this, and I wish you all a great week. All right, bye-bye.